You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Sailor radio's profane reply after U.S. forces parrot Trump claims Strait is open, based on an article by Sarah K. Burris. Open for whom? The Strait is not a talking point. The reporting gives us a simple fact dressed up in national security theater. Traffic through the Strait of Hormuz has collapsed from more than 100 ships a day to about a dozen. That is not open in any meaningful political sense. It is a choke point under military pressure, with commerce slowed by force and fear. Trump's insistence that the waterway is open is not analysis. It is performance. He can say it because the office gives him a megaphone, not because the ships agree. Power means credibility, not bravado. The actual holders of institutional power here are the president, the military command that speaks in his name, and the forces capable of bombing coastal sites and shaping traffic through the strait. Trump's line that the strait is open as far as we're concerned is revealing. That is not sovereignty over the waterway. It is an admission that U.S. power is trying to impose a narrative over a contested route. The article makes clear that Trump has already ordered another round of strikes along Iran's southern coast. That is the decision point. The rest is cleanup. Press statements, radio chatter, and post hoc declarations designed to convert escalation into success. CENTCOM chose propaganda over clarity. U.S. Central Command backed Trump's claim, saying the strait was open to lawful transit. That language is bureaucratic camouflage. It sounds calm, but it functions as political cover for a deteriorating situation. If ships are down to a fraction of normal traffic and sailors are trading insults over radio channels, then open is not a neutral description. It is damage control. This is how institutions launder failure. They treat a militarized bottleneck as a legal abstraction and call the result stability. The public is asked to confuse a radio announcement with control. Sailors pay for leadership failure. The people actually exposed here are not the ones issuing statements. They are the sailors trying to move cargo through a volatile corridor while Iranian attacks, U.S. strikes, and contradictory messaging collide in real time. One sailor reportedly told U.S. forces to F off after being reassured over radio that the route was safe. That is not just a colorful detail. It is evidence of breakdown. The human cost is already visible. The source says nearly a dozen seafarers have been dead, wounded, or missing in recent days. That is the consequence of treating the Strait of Hormuz as a stage for dominance politics instead of a corridor where ordinary people can be killed by decisions made far above them. The fiction of control. Trump's rhetoric follows a familiar authoritarian pattern: declare victory, deny disruption, and convert escalation into proof of strength. Iran declares the strait closed. Trump declares it open. CENTCOM backs the president. Ships keep avoiding the route. The truth is not in the pronouncement. It is in the reduced traffic, the strikes, and the panic on the radios. The article's framing is weak only if one accepts the premise that confusion is the story. It is not confusion. It is coercion, followed by a public relations scramble to disguise coercion as order. Conclusion. The deeper pattern is plain. When power cannot guarantee safety, it tries to monopolize interpretation. Trump's version of events, CENTCOM polished language, and the whole open fiction are attempts to make force look like normalcy. That is not governance. It is the political management of a crisis the administration helped create. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Alternet for today's article. With the automated voice of Qzil, thanks for listening.